Good morning, everyone. Hey, it's Roger Wolford here. Wanting to make a YouTube video. It's been a long time since I've made a YouTube video. Yeah, just life got crazy. Some things happened. Time got away from me. So I'm still around. I'm still carving. I just haven't posted on YouTube for a while. And right now, I did this. So I broke my wrist, so I can't carve right now because this is my right hand. So I thought, well, if I can't carve, at least I can talk about carving. So I'm going to try to get caught up on some stuff. I've went through all my old YouTube videos and I looked at your guys' comments and questions, and I thought I'd address some of those. That'd be a good time to do some questions and answers. And so yeah, the first one I want to start off with is, it was asked quite a few times, is what is this thing? So I was going to show you guys, this is my little dust collector. Sits right here in front of my carving bench. I carve here, it sucks the dust into there, keeps it out of my face and out of my lungs. So yeah, let's take a look at it, and I'll give you guys how I got it set up and how I use it. Okay, here's my little dust collection box. This is a Razor 530. So the way this thing works is it's fairly simple. It's a compact little unit. I carve here at my bench. This sucks the fine dust up that could be airborne into here, and it goes through a couple filters, and back here's a fan, and then it comes out the side as exhaust. So I've had this unit for probably close to 20 years now. I tried to find out when I bought it. I think I bought it around 2005. So it has done me very well. I looked them up online. They cost about $500 right now. That's a basic unit. I've got some add-ons here I'm going to show you guys that I've added on. So yeah, it measures, the basic unit without all these extras is roughly 11 by 11, and I think it's about 9 inches deep. So it's fairly compact. It's got a nice handle on it. If you want to take it to a show or travel with it or whatever, or take it to a carving club, it would be very light. It's less than 10 pounds. I think it's like 9.5 pounds. So it's very nice. But I don't travel with mine. It pretty much just sits here on my bench all the time, and I keep it running. So the way it works, let me click it on here. So you just got a toggle switch, which kicks on the fan. And it's variable speed. It's that simple. The variable speed, I didn't think was going to be a big deal, but boy, that is really nice. So, usually when I'm carving, I keep it, up to the highest setting there, 10. But if I'm using my wood burner or something like that, or maybe I'm just doing some light carving, I'll turn it down to like 3 or 4. And especially with the wood burner, that's super nice because it like sucks the smoke away and out of my face, but yet it doesn't move enough it doesn't move enough air to cool the tip of my wood burner. So it's really nice to have that variable speed. Probably the biggest negative about this dust collector is, it's right here, right in front of my face, and it's loud. I mean, it's not super loud, but it's loud enough, but I just remedy that with using headphones while I carve. So not a huge con, I would say, but it's definitely something to consider. So this one, the reason it's called a Razor 530. The 530 is CFM, so it moves 530 CFMs. So it's pretty powerful for the smallest unit as it is. There is other ones on the market. I think they're called Tornado or something like that. They are 1,000 CFMs and also bigger than this unit. I've never tried one. They're roughly the same cost, but I would have to think that it would be probably louder than this one. So I don't know. I'm really happy with my Raise Air, and like I said, it's been about 20 years and it's gave me hardly any problems. So let me show you a couple things. Okay, so like I said, I've added some features onto mine. This front shroud here or whatever, this didn't come with it. This is an extra add-on, and so it covers it up. So you could hook a 4-inch hose onto this, and I could set the unit over there, run a 4-inch hose up here and put it in front. That gets it a little bit away from me a little bit. And I used to have that set up. If you look at some of my older YouTube videos, I'm pretty sure I had it set up that way. It's okay. I just found that, you know, when it come time to clean the filters, take all this stuff off, whatever, it was more complicated. I just put it right back in front of my bench. But I keep this on here just because I like how it concentrates and sucks it in. On this shroud, what I did, this is something I added on the inside here. I just hot glued some magnets on here, because what I do is when I carve, if I have some reference material or whatever, some reference material, I just use these washers. I can secure them up here, and then while I carve, I can carve and I can look up at my reference drawings or photographs or whatever. It's pretty handy. So anyways, that's nice. That's another reason I leave this on here, just so I can use it for that. So got that off. So what I got here is I've got 2 filters stacked on top of each other, and as you can see, they're pretty wore out. I need to replace them. But the first one here is the green filter. This is the one that comes with the unit when you buy it. This one is, I think it's 30% efficient. So it sucks in, you know, the fine air stuff. The bigger stuff just falls to the ground. So, you know, it's a pretty good filter. It does most of what you want. What I did is I added a second filter, and this is the 80% efficient filter. So it goes through the 30% first, and then the 80. The reason I added this is for antler dust and eggshells. When I carve them, the dust that stuff puts off, it's very fine. It's like baby powder. And what was happening with just the 30%, it would suck it through there and then just blow it out in the side. And it was just continuously, that fine dust was just staying in the air. And I didn't want that. So I added this filter. Really, when I'm not carving antler or eggshell, I should probably not use it and just use the 30. But I just usually leave it in there and I clean them both out at the same time. So this is another add-on to here is this double stacked thing here. So I had to buy that. So I think, you know, the 4-inch shroud thing on the front, I think it was around 20. And then I added this add-on here so I could double stack the filters. And that was another 20. And then another add-on here is this deflector. Without this, the air just shoots out the side. And honestly, it was just blowing everything around on my bench and papers and whatever. So I just got this. It wasn't very expensive, just to deflect that air so it wasn't blowing around. So yeah, and the filters, I just take them out every now and then when I notice it's not sucking the dust as much as it should. I just take them out and I go outside and I just beat them against a tree, and you know, they fall out, all the dust falls out, and then I put them back in. So then I double stack them. and then you put the shroud back on. So yeah, there it is. Yeah, let's fire it up and give you guys a test. All right, so first thing I'm going to show you, this is the front 4-inch tube coming off the collector there. I'm just going to turn it on. I got an incense stick. I'll just hold in front of this so you can see how it sucks the smoke, how it just draws it in really strong. So let's turn it on. I got it set to 10, the highest setting. So this is right about where I'd be carving. You can see how it just draws it straight in there. All right, so now I'll turn it back on, and again, it'll be at the highest setting at 10, and I'll grab an antler and I'll just run a burr over it and create some dust, just so you can see that being sucked in there too. There's probably people at home watching this saying, hey, you got a broken wrist, you shouldn't be doing this, and you're probably right. My doctor, my wife would also agree with you, but I got to do something. So here we go. Okay, so that is my dust collector. I hope this helped you guys, and maybe you want to go get one of your own. I bought this one from treelineusa.com. That was 20 years ago. I looked on their website this morning. It's still there. I do want to say that, you know, even with this dust collector, I still wear a face mask. You know, it's gonna pull stuff away from me and whatever, but it's definitely not gonna be clean enough for me to go without a face mask. Wood burning, that's a different story. I wouldn't wear a face mask for that. That's smoke. But the dust, I definitely want to ensure I'm not breathing that in, even with the dust collector going. So it makes a big difference. Before I had the dust collector sitting in front of me, I mean, it was just everywhere. It was in my face, and you know, in my hair, and you know, on my glasses. So it definitely makes a difference. It makes carving, especially when you're doing many hours of carving, it makes it much more enjoyable. So, yep. Hope you enjoyed this.